I'm going to reopen NanoStudio. Where we left off, I just recorded the drum track and I recorded the chords using SuperString. These are the default instruments that we have on NanoStudio, the default instruments that always come up. Next thing I'm going to do is record a bass line. All right, so if we look at first I'm going to look at the chords. I'm doing this in the key of C, and I start out with C, E, and G. So C, E, and G are the notes I'm using. So because those are in my chord, I know that I could play bass notes on those particular notes. When I switch here to this chord, which is that is F, A, C, I could play an F, A, or a C, and I know that I'm going to be perfectly on. My music's going to match up with the chords I have. That's why I did the chords first in this demo. And then back to C, E, and G. And then this one is G, B, D. So all of those notes, when I'm in those chords, I can play those notes. Let me show you the easiest thing to do when you're creating a bass line. And this is something that Vince Clarke from Erasure, they were a very big electronic band in the 80s and 90s. But they have Vince Clarke, who's one of the musicians, and he's very good, but they asked him one time in Keyboard Magazine, why do you always play the root key for your bass? He goes, I don't know anything else to do. So I'll show you what it means to play the root key for the bass line. So first thing, I'm going to go back to the song editor up here. It's going to take me here. I'm going to choose my bass. I'm going to double click that, it comes up. So here's my bass sounds. All right, so a pretty good deep electronic bass. It doesn't sound too synthy. It sounds pretty good, actually. I like this bass. So I'm going to start here on C2. I could start down low, which I would probably want to do if I were really recording this, but for demo purposes, to make sure it's easy to hear, I'm going to play here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play this note. That's the root key of the first chord that I have. It's the C. So after that, I think my next one was F. So I'm going to go back down to here. I could play it up higher, but then I would have to hit this key down here to go up an octave, and I don't want to bother doing that. So I'm going to play the root C, root F, root C, and then root G. So let's listen to that as we play along. So I'm going to click back to the beginning, I'm going to click record, and then I'm going to wait for the 4 beeps and start playing. So you can probably tell I messed up. I'm going to show you 2 ways to fix that. And the first thing is I forgot to play G. I went to G instead of playing the F on that second chord. So let's look at that and see how it shows up on our timeline. I'm going to go back to the song editor button. I'm going to click on the bass track, double click, and notice over here I only played 2 notes. I was supposed to play 4, and that's because I accidentally pushed off the bottom of the screen and I clicked a menu button that popped up instead of clicking these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to highlight it and then click the delete button at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these notes. I'm just going to highlight them and click duplicate. Then I'm going to line them up so that they're on this 4th bar, starting on the 4th bar. I'm going to drag them down using this little arrow on the side so that they go to the G, because that's where I want it to play. So I've got 4 notes right there, very easy to do. These 4, these are the ones I played in the wrong root key. So I'm going to drag those down to F like that. And now if I play this back, we're going to hear 4 notes on the root key for the C chord, 4 notes for the root key on the F, 4 notes back to C. So it's C, F, C, G. And let's play it and listen to how it sounds. Again, it loops because I've got 4 bars selected on my timeline. This blue line is showing me 4 bars highlighted. But now I've got the drums, I've got the bass, I've got the chords. Now I need a melody, and then I'll show you how to record vocals after that. So let me stop the demo here, and we'll pick it up next time on melody.